and I wanted to come on because we're going to do worship tomorrow in the morning, and I'm just getting things set up tonight because I like having things set up for the morning so I don't have to like scramble too much in the morning. So planning ahead, it's one of the things I've learned in my 18 years. I don't know how long, about no, probably more like 15 years. Anyway, we're having communion tomorrow, and I wanted to come on and invite you to worship and to communion, because communion is one of my favorite things to do at the church. It is a time where I get to, and Amira is going to be with me. We're going to lead communion together, and we get to say and participate in this ancient ritual with you that means so much to Christians throughout the last 2,000 years. And it, I'm hoping, means so much to non-Christians too, because communion is for atheists and it's for heretics. And it is even for those Christians who think they got God 100% correct. They don't, nobody does. But communion is for them too. And so I just wanted to come on, and no matter who you are, where you are on life's journey, if you're gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, you're welcome to the table. If you're atheist, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, even if you're a Christian, you're welcome to the table. Why is that the case? I just have to show you. I've already got the communion elements out. Hi, Michael. It's good to see you. Communion is for atheists and for heretics. All you have to have in order to celebrate this communion ritual with us at Clackamas UCC is enough trust to trust that you belong. That's it. Just something inside of you that says, yeah, I belong here. I trust that I belong, because for Jesus, that's what it's about. Jesus fed people throughout his life who didn't know him, who didn't have the right doctrine, who didn't go through Sunday school, who didn't go through all the educational classes in order to get some theory right about God, or even some theory right about communion. That's not what communion is about. God knows the tragedy that Christians have committed over this ritual, the violence, the bloodshedding. It's the tragedy of Christian history that we have fought people amongst ourselves and others about these kinds of rituals, where Jesus just says, if you trust, all you have to do is have some little faith, just a little bit of faith, the size of a mustard seed, that you belong at this party, and you will be fed. That's it. That's it. You can be an atheist, you can be a heretic, an agnostic, doesn't matter. You belong. Here's the one story that I love to tell about this is that at the Last Supper, what we traditionally view as the very first communion, I guess, ceremony, Jesus is there and he's feeding his disciples. And Jesus knows that one of his disciples is a man named Judas, is going to betray him. Judas doesn't have the right faith. He doesn't have the right belief or the right doctrine. Jesus knows that something's bad is going to happen to him, and Judas is going to have some part in it. And do you know how Jesus responded to Judas? By feeding him. Jesus even feeds Judas because Jesus wants Judas to be nourished with the love of God. That's what Jesus means when he says, love even those that you call your enemies. Everyone is invited. If you're watching this, you are not Judas. 2,000 years later, you're not. And even if you were, you're still invited to the table. because God loves you. And we at Clackamas United Church of Christ, we love you too. So hope that you can join us tomorrow. Cheryl, see you in the morning. Michael has a lovely bottle of Oregon Pinot Noir for communion. That's awesome, Michael. Can't wait. Yes, Bill, we are willing to share the Eucharist with anyone who wants to come. You know, we at some churches you have to go through, like the children have to go through the class in order to have communion, and they have to like learn the theory and what communion is. And I've always resisted that. You know, at those churches, they like do a blessing on the children. And I had that at the church that I grew up in. I was blessed. I couldn't take part in the elements. And I always thought, what? And I think that was something inside of me that was like, I'm something exclusive about this. Like, what's going on here? And that's, I think, something inside of me that resisted that at a very early age that has kind of grown inside of me. This isn't about getting the theory right. Children don't have to get the theory right. This isn't about having the right table manners, right? This is just the simple fact that you belong, that you are loved, that God loves you and invites you to the table to be with one another. Even as if we were doing this in the church service, we might be bumping elbows. We might be getting in each other's way, and it's a little messy. And that's part of the beauty of church. Sometimes kids don't act the way we want them to in the church service. And you know what? That's part of church. That's part of community. That's part of saying everyone belongs. Jesus says, bring the children to me. And children should be able to come to Jesus at the table. So that is kind of, I just get so excited about communion. So wanted to come on and invite you to it. Bring your own elements, whether that's, as Michael is bringing a bottle of Oregon Pinot Noir all the way from, Michael, where do you live? Nebraska, I think. Yes, Iowa. Oh, I'm so sorry. I should know this. Michael's coming with some wine, and you can have some bread. If you like milk and cookies like I do, you can bring milk and cookies. Whatever works for you. Tomorrow, 10:30 Pacific, on the Clackamas United Church of Christ Facebook page and YouTube channel, and on the homepage of our website. So friends, I hope you have a wonderful Saturday night. Iowa, Michael, come on. Adam, I totally dropped that one. Anyway, Michael from Iowa is going to have Oregon Pinot Noir. So I hope you have a great Saturday night, and feel free, if you're so inclined, to join us for worship at 10:30 Pacific here on the here on our social media pages. So until then, grace and peace be with you. Bye-bye.